Thank you so much for tuning in to She's All Over the Place with Kiriaki. That's me. Welcome to the show. I'm Katie Chonacas. Thank you so much for being here. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much to my 300 new subscribers in 1 week. How cool is that? Shout out to you. I am here to inspire you. I am here for you to take action. I hope your wheels will be turning and you'll be fueled and full. And seriously, this episode I'm so excited about. I'm in such deep gratitude. This week is all about gratitude. As we know, Thanksgiving's coming up. The end of the year is happening, and a lot of people have words of gratitude and reminders of why we should be grateful, with compassion. And, for a lot of people, gratitude is a practice every single day. And I definitely am one of those people multiple times per day. Ever since I was really young, I've always been in gratitude, and I'm so grateful because during this pandemic, I was turned on to SOVAS, right? SOVAS, Society of Voice Arts and Sciences. Some great things have come out of this pandemic, right? SOVAS has been around since 2013. I had no clue who they were, right? It's like once you know, you know. But if you don't know, then you just don't know. Well, they also have a bunch of stuff going on, and you need to tune in and go to the website. You can follow them on Twitter, SOVAS, SOVAS, LinkedIn. They're on LinkedIn, Instagram, all the social media platforms. I just signed up for their newsletter. I got an email. Somehow I saw they had some event coming up. It was called That's Voiceover. And I was like, that's Voiceover. And I'm like, that's me. So I looked it up. It was a 3-day event. It happened Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was 6 hours every single day, back to back to back. And it was like intense, jam-packed, full of inspiration. People were sharing, caring. There were people in the game since the 90s, and there were people getting awards, and we're going to get into all that. But first, let me introduce the founding members, Rudy Gaskins and Joan Baker. And, a few months ago, all of a sudden, I saw Joan Baker, her Instagram, and I followed her, and I was seeing her on the social media, and then we were kind of interacting on the social media. I see that she's written a book. It's called The Secrets of Voiceover Success, and that was done in 2005. And these two have been a duo for 18 years. They have been going at it. On the website, they have a blog, and their first blog post is from 2014, and they give an introduction of how it all happened. Rudy Gaskins, I hope I'll have him on the show in the near future, so I'm not going to give all the juices of his story, but he was a producer over at ABC, and he was looking for a voice, and I think they wanted to go with a female voice, and there wasn't a female voice for 7 years or something like that. Joan Baker, she went to the receptionist of ABC and she gave her demo, and I guess it was sitting on his desk for 3 weeks, and someone gave the suggestion hey, check out this demo, and then they hired her. And so that's how their kinship was birthed. I hope to have Joan Baker on the show too in the near future. That would be really, really cool. I connected with a lot of people from That's VO, so in the near future I hope to inspire you and have them on, share their stories. There's this one guy who's a voiceover coach, and his name is Dave, and he was on Minecraft Story Mode, and I was on Minecraft Story Mode too. So I'm like, oh wow, we already have this connection. How cool is that, right? So there's That's Voiceover, and we're going to get into that today. But just a little sneak peek. Okay, for one, I already said, go to the website, get on their mailing list. You want to do this, and be up to date on everything they're doing, the people they're involved in, because these people are just boom, powerhouses at the 1% of the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. So there's a lot of things out there, right? And you want to steer clear of the yuck and the muck and the I don't know what to do, because everything is built on relationships, authenticity, your voice, being of value for others, being an asset, being in service, and just having a building relationship back and forth. It's voiceover. Like, we don't see each other. A lot of times we're isolated in our booths all day, and now with the COVID, we're not going to the studios and meeting with the people working behind, a huge glass with the producers and everyone directly. It's all through the Zoom and the Source Connect. If you have Source Connect, and if you don't know what Source Connect is, you can Google it, and we can get into that on another episode. But yeah, so get on the newsletter, get hip on what's going on, read all of their blogs, see everyone on their platforms, follow them on LinkedIn, follow them on the social media. Being in the workshop over the weekend, that's Voiceover, a lot of the coaches and people like to be directly contacted through their website. So just hint, hint, note there for you. Also, they have an award ceremony coming up. It's called Voice Arts Awards, and it's on December 6th. So I know you can go to the website and check it out and see more details. I was actually just on the website, and it's so insane. They have 91 different categories, which is a lot and totally awesome, because they're honoring people not only in one area, but all areas: radio, commercial, promo, animation, PSAs for TV or web, PSAs for radio, movie trailers, podcasting, consumer sales videos, like narration, and then there's like TV corporate, and then there's the demos, and I wonder if they have one for like best coach or something like that too on here. Movie trailers, promo. I mean, the list just keeps going on and on. And then so there's different areas of voiceover, and there's audiobook, narration, there's e-learning, fantasy, and the really cool thing about the Society of Voice Arts and Sciences, it's not just English, it's bilingual. It's such a huge market being bilingual. They have outstanding mobile app, best male voiceover, best female voiceover, anime. So they have all these different categories, like honoring all these different people in voiceover. Best sound design. How cool is that? Best casting director. I mean, this is so neat and so much, and it's a lot. So, the people who are thinking like, oh yeah, I'm going to do voiceover, and then like you get the equipment, and then you do it, and then you're just like, oh, okay, like I'm not making any money. There was this one voiceover actor, his name's Joe, and he was the host of the conference too. I haven't met him in person yet, so I don't want to like botch his last name, but he was in the film In a World. I did it. That was my second time ever doing it. Eric Schuford, he's at the SAG Foundation in Los Angeles at the Don LaFontaine Voiceover Lab. For the very first time, I was like, In a World, and that was my first time doing it, and that was my second time doing it, but it's like a big thing. So if you get it, cool. If you don't get it, just once you get more into voiceover, I guess you'll get the joke of it and the meaning of it. And wow, seeing the film In a World, seriously, I wanted to see that film for years. And then, life happens. Distractions, you're busy doing this, doing that. Finally, I was able to see it. There was a 1-hour conversation with Lake Bell, and I've always been a very big fan of Lake Bell. I just love her vibes, her essence. She's so beautiful. She's an actor. And so she has always been like known in the VO world to be like, oh, okay, like she was like the lead girl in this film about voiceovers. It was like circling. And I'm like, that's so cool. A movie about voiceovers. How neat. Then I go to watch it the other night, and she wrote it, she directed it, and she starred in it. I mean, what a great film. The writing's epic. The casting is amazing. A lot of people from That's VO were in the film. It was really, really, really cool. But, I was listening to her speak for about an hour. I was so inspired. I did a little story, and I tagged her, and she reposted it, and I was just like, oh my God, you are my new role model. Like, no one can stop Lake Bell. Like, no one can. Because in life, people are like, do one thing. The old model, they're all telling you, just, do this. They're telling you what to do. This woman is a visionary. She wrote, directed, and starred in this epic film about voiceovers. I mean, hands down, praise, 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 like all glory. I mean, she, seriously, you know when you get like a new role model and when you really look up to someone and then sometimes it's like, okay, you're looking for someone new to look up to. She's just this new iconic person and I cannot wait to meet her in person one day. I hope to have her on the show and I really hope to work with her. That would be cherry on top of cherries here. But yeah, she got an award. It was the Backstage Vanguard honoree filmmaker, actor, producer, creator. That was on That's Voiceover. And like I said, it's an annual thing, so you definitely want to be in the loop of what they're doing, what's going on. Another cool thing that happened over the 3 days was there was called an audition spotlight, and it was with CBS. So there were these people on from CBS, and I guess 400 people auditioned. There were, I think, 40 who got callbacks, and then there were 6 who were down to the final rounds. And in that 6, the people on the live chat were able to see in real time and hear each person, how they, interacted with the producers, the read, and then they gave them direction to see how well they took direction. It was a close call between 2 people. The person who got the audition spot got a lot of gifts. They got a 6-month contract with a new management company that's booming, banging. My girlfriend, Alessandra Levy, just signed with them and she's loving them. So the representation is with ACM Talent. This guy, Mark Gus, who's killing it. He's one of the co-founders of it. So, and then also the winner of the CBS Audition Spotlight gets a paid booking with CBS to LA. They got a Sennheiser MK4 mic and studio headsets. They got this like K-ball. I have 2 of them. It's a Chaotica ball that you put over your mic. And they also got 2 VIP tickets to the Voice Arts Awards that are coming up December 6th. So definitely want to go to the website and check it out. Let's dive into that and look at that for a minute. Oh, before we go there, during the weekend for That's Voiceover, they had the speed dating thing where you could sign up, you speed date with your demo reel. So let's jump more into That's Voiceover, the 3-day conference, right? They had the board of directors on and it was a chat and everyone would just like communicate back and forth. Sound and Fury was there. This beautiful woman named Jill Kershaw. She's the creator of Sound and Fury. I audition for them all the time. It's just a powerhouse full of these beautiful gals there. They're based LA, New York. I think they have offices, basically all over. And then there was a casting talent agent from CESD there, Mark Gus of ACM Talent. He was on the panel and he's also on the board. There was all these different voiceover coaches. So they gave a scholarship away to someone. How cool is that, right? And then they even had a conversation about the collapse of colorblind casting. And so that was really interesting. The Voice Arts Legacy Award, and it was presented to Kevin Michael Richardson. And I had no idea who this guy was, but he's been on over 5,000 productions, working in animation and all over the place on all these different platforms. So I haven't followed him on Instagram yet, but I'm definitely gonna look it up. But Kevin Michael Richardson, look him up. He's one of the most celebrated voice acting biggest stars. They were able to sit down with him one-on-one in a personal interview. Oh, a really exciting panel that happened was with 2 guys from Pandora. And like I said again, it's so cool because it's English and then the bilingual. So they had both there. And Pandora has 1,500 voiceover promo spots per month. That's a lot of spots. And people who were included in the seminar, they gave this link where you could actually apply. So you fill out your information and they gave you a mock audition from SOVAS and you send it in to possibly get gigs and work with them. And they are the 2 audio engineers and casting directors, producers, audio producers who hire for these Pandora spots. 1,500 VO promo spots per month? That is a lot. Whoa. Are you overloaded yet? I don't mean to give you so much information here. I know it's a lot, but like I said, go to the website and sign up and get involved and like these people on Facebook and follow follow their journey and listen to what they have to say. There's a lot of value out there. You know, they're leaving messages, they're doing videos, you know, you can follow them on Twitter, and you can read all these blog posts. And so you can do a lot of research and just lay the groundwork, like plant the seeds if you're really serious about the business side of voiceover. Because a lot of people are like, oh, voiceover, yeah, I can do it, it's easy. But it's like, okay, but like you can't just like go and do voiceover. I mean, you can. There's different tiers and levels of voice acting, right? So it depends your direction and how you want to craft your career. Oh, like I was saying earlier, this one guy, Joe, who was one of the hosts of The Weekend, who's in the In a World film, he was like, I audition for 90 projects before I get one. Yeah, audition for 90 projects before you get one. Yeah, that's how it happens. And then sometimes you book 4 jobs in 1 week. You just never know, right? So yeah, the board was really cool. That was awesome. All the panels were about 1 hour long. So it's like you get a lot of information in 1 hour. And then they take these little breaks so you can get some water, kind of take some notes, have a breather. But Rudy Gaskins, who is the CEO and president of SOVAS, he was on a lot of the panels. He has a bright, big, beautiful smile, very kind. So they had what producers want inside the minds of the visionaries. Okay. Oh, hosted by Les Trent. Interesting. He befriended me on LinkedIn today. How cool is that? That's so cool, right? Oh my God. He's the senior correspondent of Inside Edition. That is like so major. Okay. So yeah, they were giving insight and information about what the producers want. One big tip I would like to share with you is they said read Ad Weekly. So I started following them on Instagram, and I do the iSpot TV, so I can like watch current commercials and watch the brand. Sometimes I'll be going out for a voiceover spot, and I'll just like look at Verizon, McDonald's, whatever, and I'll put in 2020 or 2019 just so I can see, because it pivots, right? What they were doing in 2019 or 18 or 17 or 1986 way different than what they're doing headed towards 2021. So it's really important to watch the commercials. Another thing they were saying and laughing about is like, people are like, oh yeah, I want to do voiceovers, or I do voiceovers, and they're like, oh, I don't watch TV. And it's like, okay, you don't watch TV, you want to do commercials, but you don't know the commercials out there. You need to be like educating yourself and be on the pulse. It's a lot of energy, so you have to have the passion and the ambition to be in it to win it. And when you get into voiceovers, it's a marathon. Thank God I was a cross-country runner. I learned about short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. And you have to have a strategy and a plan. If you're a beginner, like just don't go out there and like buy equipment and stuff. There are Facebook forums you can add yourself in, these Facebook groups. You can connect to the people on the SOVAS.org website, befriend them, and, you know, see what mics they're using, watch their videos. Okay, moving right along here. Oh, it's Cipriano. It's the Joe guy I was telling you about. Joe guy. But it was my first time ever seeing him. I'm exposed. I know who he is now. He's definitely a legend in the business, and he was all over. That's voiceover. And like I said, he was one of the main characters in a World, written, directed, starred by Lake Bell. After I saw the movie, I cried. I just cried. I sat there and I cried because it's so true. And if you're like in it, you like get it. And it's exactly how it is from the beginning, middle, the end. It's just so truthful. I'm like, I want to watch it again. It was 2 a.m, so I had to sleep. So I didn't watch it again, but I am going to watch it again because it's so good. It gave me a lot of insight and motivation and hope. A lot of great hope. And then there was this boss man on, right? Okay. J. Michael Collins. Yo, he had so many gold awards. I think maybe 50. It was just like a big L of just gold awards. And he's just a boss man. He had this awesome mic, Manly or something like that. I was like, yo, what mic is he on? And then someone in the chat, they sent me Manly, Manley, I think. I don't know. I looked it up. It was like $2,999. I was like, oh, wow, boss. Totally cool. Right now I'm getting the TLM 103. And so I was like, oh, what's his mic? Because I was like, maybe like, you know, I was interested. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll just stick to, you know, my TLM, this $1,300 mic for right now. So this is me upgrading, right? First I had, right now I'm on the Sheer SM7B. It's a great dynamic mic. It's great for podcasting, poetry, singing. A lot of singers and podcasters have the Sheer SM7B. Sheer just came out with a version of this SM7B. It's called something else. However, it has the XLR and the USB, but it's the same quality. So I thought that was really cool and interesting. My friend Rob Greenlee got one and shared that with me today. We had a podcast earlier, which is going to be on an upcoming episode. He's the VP of brand partnerships at Libsyn. They host 75,000 podcasts. So we were talking about scripted podcasts. We were talking about audiobook podcasts. It's really cool. So Voiceovers, transparent over into podcasting, having fictional series and the audiobooks. Yeah, J. Michael Collins was nonstop with Tom Pinto, and they had this 1 hour session about TV and corporate narration. So they were just giving a lot of value and insight. They're producers, they do demo reels, they're coaches. There were a lot of coaches on, and they were saying, if you want to do the voiceover, like I was saying earlier, people are like, oh, I just want to do voiceover. And then they're like, they're not training. It's like a muscle that you have to always build and continue to go deeper, deeper, deeper. And like when you think you know everything or you got like all your tools sharpened, it's like, oh, you can find new tools. So it's really important to always be studying and researching. So on the last day, they had this atomic VO coaching, right? So there were all these coaches on there, and some of them are casting directors, some of them are producers, and they broke it down hour by hour. So they had games and animation. One was with this guy coach that I mentioned earlier, Dave Fenoy, and I connected with him. He's so cool, and I asked him to be on the podcast. He said yes, so I'll have him on in the near future. He was the one that was on Minecraft story mode. It is so worth it to be a part of the community, get to know who these people are. And they were saying just like reach out and ask a question, and 9 times out of the 10 they'll be happy to email you back. And they also said like, oh, if you email and you don't hear back, don't get discouraged. Just maybe it was like a really busy week or month or 2 months, who knows, and you can just always follow up professionally and ask the question again. And also they have availabilities for like one-on-one coachings that you can do. Some of them offer, because of the pandemic, Zoom workshops. Find out when they have workshops coming up, be a part of their community. Oh, they had ADR and dubbing, and they had this really cool from Bang Zoom, this woman. She was so awesome. Like Mommy's her name. She's a casting director and a coach. And then there was this woman, Laura Stahl. It's STAHL. She was really spunky and so cool. She doesn't even have an agent. She works so much for Crunchyroll, Bang Zoom, and she was just saying how she just reaches out to the writers and the producers directly. I know my girlfriend did that before she got an agency on the ad side, with not being just like, oh, I'm this actor, I'm swimming in the ocean or swimming in this pond hoping to get picked, please select me. Treat it as a business. It's show business. Jessica Kent was on there. She's a VO director, producer, casting director. She was also in the dubbing and ADR. Just 3 ladies, boss ladies, making it happen. Woohoo! The next panel was TV and radio commercials, and I mentioned before Sound and Furry. I auditioned for them a lot, and they are amazing. They do great commercials. So I've seen the name Tina Marasco, but like I've never met her in person. I follow her on Instagram, and I see her name in my emails all the time because of the castings. And I went to her website and I sent her an email, and I just was really authentic. And I'm just like, hey, like, you're so beautiful. Well, I don't think I said that, but I was thinking that because she is. She's just gorgeous. but I wrote to her, I was in your session, and I would love to connect more if you're available to do a one-on-one. And I said, maybe I could have you listen to a bunch of auditions that I've done for your company, Sound and Furry, and then you can let me know, like, was it the mic, was it the tech, was it the sound quality, was it the acting? Like, because actors, we get in our heads and we don't know, like, is it the tech, was it negative 12 dB or like all that techie stuff, especially having home studios nowadays. And she wrote me back within an hour, and she just said the date she had available, we slotted it in, and she was very kind, and she said she's very familiar with my work. And I was just like, oh my God, because like you don't, like I said, you don't see these people, we don't see one another. So for her to be like, I'm familiar with your work, it's just like, because I've been like going at it for a long time, right? So it's like, that's the thing, we go and go. You know about people, we build relationships. She was, familiar with my work. This like just really warmed my heart. It made me feel so good. I wrote an email to my agent. I told him about it, and he's like, yeah. He's like, I'm excited to hear the feedback from Tina, and he's like, it's gonna be a great 2021. And I'm like, yeah. So we have a one-on-one setup, and she was so efficient and effective, because I'm thinking, oh, I'll just like pull up the auditions I've done for Sound and Furry. And then she said to me, I'll pull up the auditions you've done for us, and the day before I'll send you the copy, and then I'll pull up the spot who got cast for it. I was like, oh my God, they file and keep all of our voiceovers. Like I have a file, like she's just gonna go and like type in my name, and like they have auditions from me. They just don't throw them away. Like they have their whole system, right? So they can pull it up. That's so cool. And she's like, yeah, and we can go over it, and she's gonna coach me on, to enhance to see this or that. I'll let you know afterwards. And then iron out any tech questions too. So this is like closing the gap. So happy, so grateful, right? And this just happened in 3 days. Like all of these things I'm telling you is just 3 days, right? So there's the person who gets all the information. First, you have to have the excitement and the passion and the ambition for what I'm talking about. Because if you're already exhausted by now, you're probably like, whoa. But if you're in it and you're excited, then it's like, let's go, right? Robin Armstrong, he's a voice actor. He's a director, a coach. Tina's a voiceover actor as well. I had no idea. When I went to her site, I saw she was a voice actor. I just thought she was a casting director. So it's like, our minds think what they think, but we don't know. Like everyone's doing a whole bunch of different things here. Dave Walsh was really cool. He's a voiceover coach. He's a demo producer. And then they went on to TV promos. That's very specific. Promos are really good with dynamic mics. I am really good friends with Randy Thomas. Randy Thomas is a boss lady. She has been the voice of the Tonys 21 times in a row. She's been the voice of the Oscars 10 times total. She's the voice of the Emmas, the Environmental Media Association. She's like my spiritual mother. She's amazing. Detroit, what? We were talking about TV promos, show opens, and there were a bunch of like producers, directors, coaches, and you can go to the website and look up their names and follow them on the social media and get involved. They also talked about audiobooks. There was this one woman, Christy Rooney, and I think she's produced over 800 audiobooks, and it was just a beginning, middle, end, and she was just like really thorough and detailed, and it's its own animal, audiobooks. Same thing with TV and corporate narration. It's its own animal. You can decide what's your vibe, you know what I mean? Like for me personally, I love commercials, I love video games, I love animation. I really love children's book. If I were going to do a book, I would do children's book because of my voice and because of my patience. Yeah, I just think it's like that would be a good fit for me and my heart center, because you have to love what you do. Like no matter what you do in voiceover or not, it's like the principle of the love, because when you love what you do, 14 hours go by and you're like, yo, it felt like an hour, and it's like you're just so in love with life and what you're doing. And again, with the voiceover, it's a long journey. It's a marathon, and it's a commitment, and it's a lifestyle. And it's like these people I just mentioned to you, they're good people. They're like really good people, and I haven't met a lot of them, but just by their words, by showing up and to be a part of the community that Rudy and Joan created, because I'm sure they vet out everyone and they know who's who, but this collective empire that they've created and that they continue to build on. I'm so happy to be in service and be a part and to be sharing all of this with you who are in the biz, and also for the newcomers, making your way in. I'm here to support you. I've been in the entertainment industry for 20 years now. My experiences are here to be in service for you and to share, because I feel like paying it forward is so important. And also it's like, what's meant for me is me, and what's meant for you is you. So the cool thing about voiceovers, if they want a female of my girlfriend Alessandra Levy, or if they want Joan, right, they're not going to hire me. But if they want me, they're going to hire me. Or if they want like a male or whatever, like, so it's like, I feel like there's so much out there and there's so many different areas. But for me, I think consistency is really important, and getting involved in communities where you can build those relationships so they can trust you and you can trust them. And then we can have like our go-to people and then work together collectively, because it becomes a family. It's a real cool collective, and it's a family. It's really, really awesome. One little tip about voiceovers, it's awesome and always better to go big and like loud and like give it all you got, because if you're going for a take and you're like, oh my god, like blah, 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 and it's like you don't know if you can get them to go big. So it's better to go big because they can always bring you down. But if you start small, then they don't know if they can bring you up. So that's kind of like a quick tip insight of the voiceover world. Yeah, that's voiceover, literally. That is voiceover in a nutshell. And thank you so much for being here, stopping by. I hope I've inspired you and gifted you a lot of nuggets that you can take and run with. Feel free to reach out to me, 646-820-5311, 646-820-5311, or you can email me, imaginekatie@gmail.com, imaginekatie@gmail.com. Also, check out the Sophisticated Psychos on all music streaming platforms. I just released an EP called Hypnotic Energy. It's encoded with 639 healing frequencies. 639 fosters forgiveness in relationship with ourselves and with one another. I really feel on a planetary level, we all need a lot more forgiveness for ourselves and for one another. And so, kindness is key, being in gratitude. Yeah, the vibes are really cool. They're all beats. I created them on Ableton. What's up? And then also check out the Sophisticated Psychos YouTube channel. We have a new comedy series. It's called Couples Therapy. It's an improv comedy series, and we release episodes every single week. That's on the Sophisticated Psychos YouTube page. Follow SOVAS on all the social medias. You will be thanking me and thanking Rudy and thanking Joan, as I am. And that's the vibes, and that's the tribes. Definitely part of my tribe. Love them. Much gratitude. Woohoo. Let's do a little dance. Yeah. Thank goodness for Rudy. What's up? Thank goodness for Joan. What's up? Yeah. Rudy Gaskins, Joan Baker. Follow them on the social medias. Get them on LinkedIn. All that jazz. Society of Voice Arts and Sciences. SOVAS. Oh, yeah. Cool. Oh, there's a really cool episode with Tom Lawless. He's the president of Vox, and he is awesome and gives a lot of valuable insight if you want to dive deep more into voiceovers. Also, there's another podcast episode with Alex Sokolow. He's an amazing person and friend and screenwriter. He wrote the original Toy Story animation, and he gives details of how Buzz and Woody, their characters, were created, and it will blow your mind, seriously. Yeah, and that's voiceover, and that's it. So we'll see you next week, okay? Peace, love, gratitude. Make it happen. No one knows what you want. No one's gonna do it for you. The best investment you can ever make is in yourself. So research, get organized, reach out to the people, say hi. You have one shot, like Eminem says, 8 Mile, what's up, one shot, right? Send an email. Just say, hey, just heard this podcast. She's all over the place. Katie told me to reach out and just say hi. I want to be a part of your community. get on the newsletter, get involved. It's really, really exciting. And once you get and follow that excitement in life, it just keeps being a snowball effect, but instead of down, up, up, up. All right, over now. See you later. Peace. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Kitty at Key. Over and out.